Some people may think that America and Russia are thousands of kilometers apart. But the truth is, they're actually very close to each other. In the far north of the globe, specifically at the Bering Strait, which separates the continents of Asia and North America, you'll find two very small islands almost exactly in the middle. One is called Big Diomede, and it belongs to Russia. The other is called Little Diomede, and it belongs to America. The distance between them is no more than 4 kilometers. But what's strange is that there's a 21-hour time difference between them. But before we continue, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell icon so you get our videos first. So, if you stand on the American Diomede Island at 12 p.m. and look ahead towards Russia, it's like you're looking at tomorrow. The difference isn't just in distance. It's in time too. Crossing between the two islands is prohibited. But in winter, the sea freezes over. And long ago, some of the indigenous people used to cross it. This area used to be connected. There was no sea between them. It was land during the Beringia land bridge era. People used to cross from Asia to North America on foot. And this was the beginning of human presence in the Americas over time. The ice melted, the water rose, and submerged the land bridge. The two continents remained separated until today. In the 16th century, Russia began expanding after finishing its wars with the Mongols. They had an ambition to reach the farthest possible point in Asia. They were collecting animal furs, which were of great value and demand, and they started looking towards the Pacific Ocean. To find out what was on the other side of the sea, they sent exploratory expeditions led by an explorer named Vitus Bering. Bering embarked on his journey in 1741 and managed to reach the coasts now known as Alaska. When he returned, they had brought back very rare furs, which made Russia focus more on the region. They began sending settlers and traders. Over time, they established colonies there and called the territory Russian America. The Russians at that time formed a company called the Russian-American Company to manage the fur trade. At this time, Britain was expanding into Canada, and America was moving westward. The Russians began to feel that their presence in Alaska could lead to problems with other powers, especially after the Crimean War broke out in 1853. Russia entered the war against the Ottoman Empire, and Britain and France sided with the Ottomans. They even attacked the Russians in the Far East. At that point, Russia began to consider whether to continue defending its territories in America or to get rid of them, especially since their administration was costly and not as profitable as before. This is where the idea of selling it began to take shape. The ideal buyer was America, given its good relations with Russia at the time, and their main enemy, Britain. However, America was preoccupied with its civil war between the North and the South. When the war ended in 1865, Russia reopened negotiations. And indeed, in March 1867, the official agreement was reached. Russia sold Alaska to America for $7.2 million. That means each acre cost only about 2 cents. At the time, the American press ridiculed the deal. They said that Secretary of State William Seward, who signed the deal, had bought a refrigerator. They even dubbed the deal Seward's Folly. People saw the land as frozen and useless. But the truth is, time proved it was a golden deal. As years passed, America discovered that Alaska was rich in oil, gas, gold, silver, zinc, and coal in massive quantities. On top of that, its strategic location on the border with Russia led America to build military bases there during the Cold War. In 1959, Alaska officially became the 49th state of the United States and the largest state by area. It makes up about 20% of America's entire landmass. It has over 3 million lakes and thousands of rivers, and massive coastlines on the Pacific and Arctic Oceans. Today, Alaska is not just a resource-rich state, but also a crucial line of defense for America, especially since Russia is right across from it. America deploys radars and defense systems there because it's the first point from which a threat could emerge. And the land that people once said was useless has become a strategic and economic treasure. From being a passage for human migration to becoming a point of conflict between the two largest nations, Alaska tells a story not just about geography, but about a long history of changes and interests. That's it. If you liked the video, hit like and share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if there are any topics you'd like us to talk about, write them in the comments. See you next video.